Welcome to CAS 231 Desktop Publishing, Columbia Gorge Community College, the Dalles, Oregon, Mrs. Hewitt instructor. This is going to be your video for week 3. In this week, you are going to be creating a flyer. Last week, you were supposed to pick the software or even a couple of softwares you were planning to work with, and this week, you're going to actually be using it. You're going to be making a one-page flyer, which means you have to keep it on one page. Start off with your objectives and then your directions. And these are obviously going to be extremely important to go over in great detail. You may want to print it. That way you can make check marks like, yep, I did that. Yep, I did that. Oops, I missed that. So there are your objectives that we're going to be working on. And you're going to pick the best software option. For example, if you have Office, you could pick Publisher. You could pick Word. If you've taken CAS 133, you have already created a flyer in Word, so you know how to do that. So you can apply that knowledge and do that if you'd like to. If you're going to be using something like InDesign, which is an Adobe product, or you have downloaded another one, again, find your best option of what you've got and go from there. You're going to pick 2 elements of design from lesson 2 to showcase in your flyer. And then you're going to also write a little document in a word processor, Word, WordPad. Again, if you're using a Mac and you use Pages, you have to save it in it either as a DOC or DOCX or as a PDF. Of course, Google Docs is always an option, and you can export it as a PDF. And upload it to Moodle. Do not share the link. I don't want to do it as a shared file. I need it stored in Moodle for college records. So you're going to then tell me about your 2 design elements and how you use them. And that'll be part of the information. So this is just flyer directions. Start with a blank page or use a template if your software has one. That's fine. You must have a title. It should be the largest font on the flyer. A bulleted list. That's the one with the little dots in front or a little graphic in front. You're to add a picture or photo, graphic type of thing. You're to format it with a border or change its shape, put a shadow on it. But you're to edit that picture to make it look cool. Colors that complement each other. So think back to our color information from last week. The contact information for it. So if you're putting a lost dog flyer, just make up names and phone numbers, that's fine, or use your own, that's fine too. Then save your document. Hopefully you've set up some folders. You're either saving on a computer, desktop, or if you're using a college machine, you're saving on a USB drive. And save it with an appropriate name. So if you're making a rent flyer would be an appropriate name. If you're making lost dog would be an appropriate name. And these are just a couple of graphics here. There's nothing in it that's exactly what you have to do by any means. It's just the idea that when you're done, you're to have this like one-page flyer. So what else do you have to do? You have to click down here because there's some more information about making flyers. It gives you what's due, and then it gives you some information about making flyers in general. Also, some of you are going to go, but I'm using whatever. I don't know how to do that. You want me to change colors. You want me to put a border on a picture. You want me to do this, but I don't know how. Because I can't possibly embed videos for every possible software out there to show you how to do every single thing, because this computer class does have the expectation you do have some computer background, but YouTube is our best friend. In InDesign, there we go, a whole bunch of them. There's not just one, there's a whole bunch I can pick from. Some of them are hard to understand. They obviously have an accent or something like that. Pick one that you like, you can understand. How to add text to a flyer might be where you're stuck. Picking a color. Maybe you're not sure how to make that work. I mean, there are a lot of things, and you can be more specific. How to change a font in InDesign. Changing text size. Find and change text formatting. Changing the font and a paragraph styles. And suddenly you have a whole bunch of ideas on how to do things if you're not already familiar with how to do it. So that is going to be a very helpful tool for you, whether you're using Publisher or InDesign or Word or PowerPoint or whatever. If it's something you're not quite sure how to do, come out here and ask YouTube how to do it. It's going to probably have a tutorial. Some are better than others, but you know what? If it gets you so you can do it, it doesn't really matter as long as it works. So what else do you have to do? You will upload your page here and your written document that tells me what design you used. If for any reason you need to include any sort of sourcing information, please put it on this document, not on your flyer. Then you have a form to do. And you're going to describe how the various elements, you have a 100-word post, 50-word reply. I have no idea how we get some of these. They're so much fun, but I'll go through and do some cleanup on those. I think this is just something Moodle does to help us sometimes. And then your journal. And your journal is going to be, once you've done this upload and you've got it uploaded, you can do your 3-2-1 journal discussing the design and the flyer and the process for this week. And that should pretty well get you through this week.